I wonder how many takes this is going to take to be effective.
I think we should do outtakes of this video.
People are going to get nauseous seeing the finished product.
Okay, well, let's begin. Hello!
Sounds Australian. Anyway, we're back from London. We had a great time. We're back in our room.
Abode.
Yeah. Already finished the laundry.
And a large pizza.
God bless America. Anyway, so everybody always likes to ask, what'd you do? What'd you see? We decided to go a different direction. We decided to talk about what we've learned. And we're going to use Facebook. We're going to post this video on so you can mock us, laugh at us, but hopefully learn something.
Mostly just be indifferent towards it.
I'm glad you're so positive.
Just realistic.
Anyway, let's start on our list. We have 21 items. 21. Let's start with number 1, Meredith.
Number 1. You don't need public transportation while in London.
No. What happened to all these people who are saying you have to take these double-decker buses? That makes you fat and lazy.
The tube. Oh my God.
The tube. You have to take.
The Piccadilly line, the Central line, the Oxford Circus line.
You know what the best line you can take? The one you walk with your one foot in front of the other.
Exactly.
We walked all the way from the British Museum to the Buckingham Palace and beyond.
To the South Bank.
We walked from
Westminster to
from our
Harrods.
hotel to the Tower of London, which is about a 3-mile walk.
You get the idea.
We're fine.
All over.
You people who feel like you have to use public transportation, wimps.
We saved a ton of money too.
That wasn't important. We may have actually lost weight on this trip, but I think we just gained it back with the pizza we just had.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, but while we did not use public transportation, we learned that number 2, streets in London make no sense.
Streets in London are like the staircases in all of the Harry Potter movies. They will just change on a moment's notice. We would take forever trying to find one location, get very upset about not finding it, finally find it, and then on the way back, straight shot back to the hotel. Don't know how it happened, why it happened.
And apparently
something fishy going on in London.
And apparently Google Maps gives you names of streets, but then when you get to those streets in London, there's no names there. Some streets don't exist.
Nope. They're little alleyways.
But apparently they have names like Great Russell, Grand Street, Great
Dane, Duchess,
the 4th.
Flowers.
Great.
There.
Street. Number 3.
Number 3.
Speaking of something that doesn't make any sense, money in England makes no sense. Okay, I got over the fact that there's a £1 coin and a £2 coin, but the 2p coin is bigger than the 5p coin, which is not in line with the 10p coin. The 20p coin is smaller than the 10p coin. There's no 50p coin. I was a little confused. Why couldn't they just be size or thickness? Didn't make any sense. Yeah. Size did not matter.
I didn't hear one person say quid the whole time.
Yeah, no quid.
I was a little upset.
Pence, we've heard X pound pence, £5 30, that was there, but money in England didn't make any sense. I was playing with the play Monopoly money. Here's a 20. It has the Queen on it.
Or a prince. Didn't one of them have a prince?
It was the other side with the Queen on the other.
Okay.
Okay, so while we're walking through not figuring out money and getting lost in the streets, there are no gyms. Number 4, there are no gyms in London, apparently.
There was actually one gym. There was one LA Fitness.
And apparently a couple of hotels were offering gyms, but apparently everybody runs in London.
A lot of joggers.
A lot of joggers, a lot of straightaways, a lot of people running and running and running.
And it's funny because I think a slang term in London is jog on, which basically means like F off.
I didn't learn about that term. Anyway, on the heels of there are no gyms, number 5, chocolate is available everywhere for breakfast.
Not that we would know anything about that.
She didn't have Cheerios, I'll tell you that much.
Chocolate comes from the ground. It's fine. Ish.
Keep saying that to yourself. Meredith had chocolate muffins, chocolate croissants, chocolate what else?
Pan du chocolat.
Basically chocolate bread.
Basically,
yeah. Yeah, apparently.
I had some Nutella. Nutella's good for you.
Apparently, Meredith forgot that eggs existed.
I had an egg while we were there. One egg.
But she did try to sell me on the fact that chocolate has eggs in it. Chocolate muffins and
Come
such.
on, we all know the Bill Cosby thing.
Number 6, Meredith?
Number 6. Pepsi does not exist in London.
You know, I've cut down on soda, but I realize that Coca-Cola is everywhere. I'm a Pepsi fan myself. What happened? Couldn't penetrate England? No. I had to drink beer.
And we're all very sad.
Anyway.
Anyway, on to the next one.
But where you would get soda, number 7. Every pub, we believe, is owned by the same person or the same company. They all have different names. There's always an animal or another animal.
There's
the frog and the tortoise.
The duke or the cock. Could be one and the same.
The fish and the horse.
What was it? The crooked keys, I think, was another one.
The key and the fish. The spiny porcupine and the walrus.
Mm-hmm.
They all
animal names.
But we learned that they're all owned by the same people. On the bottom of the form, on the bottom of the signage, there would always be the same website.
Seems to be one company that has a monopoly on all of this, which is called Nicholson's. They own quite a few pubs, and we didn't even realize it at the time, but we had been to about 2 or 3 of them. They were owned by Nicholson's, but they all had different names.
But the food was very similar, but we still enjoyed them.
But outstanding.
With number 8.
8! British food is better than you think.
Yeah, you know, fish and chips was pretty good. The meat pies were pretty good.
Excellent.
Had a lot of game.
Yeah.
Recommend Rules Restaurant for any of you going to. I
had scrumdiddlyumptious.
Rabbit. I had venison.
Can I say what I had?
It's your video too.
Okay. I had butternut squash soup. It was excellent. And I had duck vindaloo. Oh, awesome.
Anyway, moving along. By the way, how many people do you think are still watching?
I don't know. Bravo to the ones who are still watching. Thank you.
We're over 7 minutes. Okay, so go on the heels of food. Number 9. Ice cream intervals are genius. Now, when you go to a theater in the West End, every single show, whether you're seeing Shakespeare or Rock of Ages, I've never seen it before.
We'll get to that later.
They always come out with little ice creams, and you can order ice creams. And I would say a good half of the audience gets ice creams. Why don't they do this?
Genius idea.
Why don't they do this in America?
Sold them for £3.50.
Made a killing.
We could make a fortune. Absolute fortune. It's a great idea.
And everybody's so happy, but...
ice cream, why shouldn't they be?
But there is a little bit of solemn nature, which leads to number 10. Autographs at stage doors are sad. Now, I met famous actor Ralph Fiennes. Not Ralph, everybody. It's Rafe. Anyway, so he and another British actor who I don't recall his name, nor does Meredith.
Nicholas Lyndhurst, I think.
Nicholas Nickleby? No?
That's his brother.
That's his brother.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they were at the stage door, and there was a big sign that informed you that you couldn't take a photo with them, and they would only sign programs or tickets. It looked like it was death for them. They would come out, they almost looked like a deer in headlights for the 6 or 7 people there, and it was like a funeral procession.
Yeah. Everybody came up in a line. And there were only 7 people on the night we went. Granted, on other nights there could be, 50
8?
people. No, there could be more than that. You don't know. But, yeah, it was pretty...
So it looked like a funeral procession. I still did get Ralph Fiennes autographs, and I have a picture, so that's kind of cool.
And they spoke.
Briefly.
They spoke.
Speaking of theater arts, number 11.
Number 11. Can I do one? Thank you. No busking.
If you don't know what busking is, hey.
May I ask, what is busking, Meredith? Well, I will tell you what busking is.
I didn't ask.
I'm not talking to you. Busking is street performing of any sort. So there was no singing, no dancing, no clowning around. Nothing. Nothing that could be in the form of any sort of public performance. But they only announced this on one street,
which is where...
Charing Cross.
No.
It was Charing Cross.
It wasn't Charing Cross.
It was the Charing Cross station where they
But
did
it
this.
was a street that is known for Tin Pan Alley. Busker Alley.
Where all the musical instruments are.
A little confusing. Horrible.
Didn't understand it. No
Speaking,
busking.
Speaking of not understanding, number 12.
Number 12. sometimes two people talk to each other and you're surprised that they can actually understand each other.
Yeah, there's some times we were listening to two people, and I'm sure they probably say that about us sometimes, but you just hear sounds and words that don't seem to make any sense, but the other person seems to understand it while we just kind of sat there with our confused look.
Yeah. There's so many dialects in a very small radius. Very small radius. We have different dialects here in the States, but they're a little bit more spread out. So the transition between each dialect is a little bit more palatable. Here, it's like here. In London, it's like every 10 feet. Different dialect.
True. Which leads me to number 13. British people only have either high-pitched voices or low-pitched voices.
Nothing in between.
It's either they talk down here.
Oh, they talk like this!
Both of them are quite amusing.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed listening to them.
Especially when they have a conversation with each other. We would actually stop in the middle of the street just to enjoy it.
Just to hear what was going on. Not even to hear the content of the conversation. Just to hear the mellifluous sounds.
We sounded like a horse.
Yeah, I did, actually.
Anyway.
Oh.
But those wacky Brits, number 14, they seem to know about their country's history. They're about 17 Georges and Henrys and
James
Philips
and Marys and
they seem to know them all.
Elizabeth, so my.
They know them all.
Every single one of them. They know, like, a bus driver knows 1,000 years of British history.
Hey, Meredith.
Hey, what?
Who's the 30th president?
Exactly.
Anyway, go ahead.
It's a little depressing for us. I mean,
not depressing, funny.
A little depressing, actually.
Way to go,
that
London.
We don't even know our own
I'll
history.
get my little flag out.
Yeah, but it was very impressive, and they just take a lot of pride. Everyone does. Everyone there, regardless of your class, what you do. A lot of pride in the history, which was something very refreshing. On to the next one, which is
15.
British TV rocks.
At first, I was going to disagree with that. At first, my opinion was the opposite, where I couldn't find anything. BBC television is somewhat boring, but there are many different stations that you'll find off the beaten path.
We didn't realize it.
What was that show we were watching about? Fat people and thin people?
It was super size versus super skinny, where anorexics and bulimics had to follow the eating patterns of obese people, and obese people vice versa. You get the idea.
That wasn't the only interesting thing. Besides listening to the accents, BBC television, though, they just kind of yell back and forth sometimes, and there's no real restriction to how they speak. It just seemed like they were just, I found you very boring, and they just say it.
Pretty much, and tons of American shows on the BBC networks.
Yeah, it's very funny to see Jersey Shore.
We saw 9 episodes of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh yeah, great. At like 11 o'clock.
From season 1.
Season 1. And there was American Dad, Family Guy.
There was Futurama.
South Park.
Caught 1 episode of South Park. We actually made a very cool discovery. I mean, I'm sure people know about her, but for us it was a cool discovery. A British comedian named Jo Brand. She's probably, I would say...
Asterisk, look her up later.
Look her up later, definitely. But she was very funny, very dry sense of
asterisk,
humor.
Look her up later.
Anyway.
We're up to 14 minutes already.
She was
Funny.
funny. Okay, 16.
Jolly good.
Oh, I'm going next.
Oh, I thought we were going to alternate.
No, that's fine.
We didn't rehearse, I swear.
Go ahead.
Jolly good.
Right.
Brilliant.
And cheers were used as much as could be while we were on this trip.
Yeah, you think when you're over here that these are statements they don't make. If you do something and if you have to move out of the way, the person will say cheers. If something is just good, not great, it's still brilliant.
Still brilliant.
Jolly good. Bloody. Oh, what up? Bloody was also another one.
Bloody was another one. If you get to the right place in line, you're brilliant. Their standards are obviously very low.
On the flip side, look at number 17, Meredith. You can read that one.
Number 17. Okay. Poop is rough.
Yeah, I don't know what... There must be some different chemicals or lack of chemicals, but while your stomach doesn't feel disgusting when you eat the food there,
Your bowels are feeling it, let me tell you.
There must have been some Queen's revenge, not Montezuma's revenge. There was some other
revenge.
royalty revenge.
As I found out in the National Portrait Gallery, pretty bad.
She caused a blackout there.
I didn't know.
There was a blackout there. I think
there was a blackout there. Whether or not it was caused by me or my BC or my BMs, excuse me.
The BMC.
The BMC.
Just speculation.
Just speculation. On to the next one.
There's something amazing about Stonehenge for some reason. It's rocks, but you want to look at them. You want to take pictures in front of them. You're in the middle of nowhere.
I think mostly it's because you're in the middle of nowhere.
Looking at rocks.
In another country, looking at rocks.
And the world is there. Everybody's there. Everyone.
All different nationalities.
Take a picture.
All different demographics.
Oh, look, it's another rock. Another rock.
Yeah, and you're fine with it.
It's fine.
We have 20 pictures of Stonehenge. It's great.
But you know what wasn't great? Number 19.
Number 19. Well, I really can't say that number 19 wasn't great because number 19 doesn't exist. Okay.
What page was it on?
I think it was 71. Okay. This guidebook we bought was from 2010.
Dali Universe.
Not that long ago. I happened to enjoy the artwork of Salvador Dali, and I found out that there was, at one point, a museum dedicated to his works right in the heart of London.
But we didn't know that at the time. We thought it still existed.
We thought it still existed. Not only was it in this guide from 2010, the hotel where we stayed gave us a map that clearly had it marked. Well, we go to the spot where it was clearly marked. Can't find it. Go to 2 security guards. One is checking to see where it is. She goes, "Oh, it's by the London Aquarium."
And at this point, I'm saying to myself, could you imagine if this doesn't exist?
Yeah. So we go to another security guard by the London Aquarium. He looks at me and goes, "It hasn't been around for 4 years." What the F?
The F, she said.
I'm trying to be a little classy on here. A little. We did speak about poop. Anyway, did not exist. That was one of 2 things. I have a little footnote on this one. One of 2 things I actually, wanted to do on our last day, just to kind of wrap the trip up. The other one was taking a picture beside a Charlie Chaplin statue situated in Leicester Square. Sounds easy enough.
We looked for it. We hunted for it.
Leicester Square is under major construction at the moment.
As is Buckingham Palace, as is Westminster Abbey, as is everything.
Because London is hosting the 2012 Olympics.
And unlike America, they're ahead of the games.
Yes.
No pun intended.
So what does that mean? They're ahead of the games. I don't get to take a picture with my statue. Great. On to the next one.
We still like Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Charlie Chaplin.
Yes, it was very good.
Good movie. Good flick.
Yeah, we have the DVD. On to the next one.
Number 20?
Number 20.
You can go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Even the meanest Brit is still nicer than the average American.
Yeah, besides, there's one weird thing, though. When British people walk through the streets, they don't really realize that there are other people in front of them.
People have their head down, kind of just getting to where they need to be.
But that aside, a lot of apologizing, a lot of kindness.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Oh, sorry.
But not just apologies, but just everybody's fine. It's not just because we're tourists. We all speak English.
Yeah. Very little horn honking. Did you notice that?
Very little.
Very little.
Very little road changing. People weren't fighting for position.
No road rage.
No road rage. These are things that we're seeing. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the case, but everybody just seemed more relaxed.
Very relaxed. Even the people who you knew, had jobs to go to, they weren't on vacation, they had things to do, they still seemed relaxed.
Who isn't relaxed at number 21?
At number 21! Oh, this really should be numbers 21 through 26. The one major thing we learned on this trip, unfortunately, is... The French suck balls!
Yeah, what's up with them? You know what? They come into England, they feel like they're running the show... They have horrible, horrible attitudes, horrible manners. They're pushy, they're rude. Isn't this England? It's not France.
It's not France.
Go over the channel. Pay Eurostar or whatever that company is. Go across.
We don't need you.
We don't need you.
At all.
You made my wife reconsider going to Paris.
Really?
You see? We're going to have to take a cruise now.
I mean, granted, we did get a free private box at the opera.
Because all the French people around us were rude. But that's not the only reason.
I yelled at a woman in French.
You know, I took French, but...
I took French, too.
Maybe I should learn Spanish.
Never thought I would have to tell a woman off in French, though.
Stupid French people. But overall, that aside, wonderful time, jolly good, bloody good,
Brilliant.
brilliant.
Bloody brilliant trip.
Wonderful. Loved it. Had a great time. I hope that our friends watch this. I hope our family watches this. I hope some British people watch this. I think that'd be cool.
I don't really care. Well, I possibly do care if some French people watch this. Maybe you will watch this and learn from your peers' mistakes and be a little bit nicer.
You're talking about the French?
Yes.
But why? But the British are kind, as you said.
Yeah, I did say the Brits
So
are kind.
what are they learning about?
No, the Brits are just watching this for amusement. That, we like their country.
Is my accent funny?
I don't think it is.
Err.
That was before we went to London.
But anyway, we loved our trip to London. We hope you guys get a kick out of this 21-minute, I'm looking down here,
Ooh.
and 8-second video. I hope you don't throw up. Anyway, hope you enjoy. Please comment. And maybe if we get enough of these, maybe we'll start making a vlog.
Ooh, that sounds painful.
A vlog?
Yeah.
Isn't that...
A vlog of us?
I think it'd be kind of funny.
It'd be so much
and tragic at the same
Yes.
time. Anyway.
Please remember, this isn't our best work. This was all very much off the cuff, and...
Nothing wrong with being off the cuff.
Nothing wrong with being off the cuff.
By the way, we look thin, gotta say.
Well, I look a little buxom as usual, but...
Buxom.
That's okay.
They didn't use the word buxom.
I'm using the word buxom.
Okay. Where the Buckholz is. Signing off.
Cheerio!
Pip pip and all that fish and chips. Have a good one.
Ta-ta!